Am I saying sell your truck, sell your trailer, get out of the business? No. Good morning. I was on Facebook Marketplace last night looking for some truck parts, and I tell you, the market is flooded with hotshot car haulers. It's like everybody's getting out of the hotshot car hauling business all at one time. There's a ton of people leaving the hotshot business. I'm not sure exactly how everybody knows what I know what's coming, but I can tell you there's some federal regulations, and I'm not trying to be political, but there's some federal regulations that are being handed down from the Biden administration that are going to go into effect January 1 of 2025. Now, if we get lucky and something else goes on in November, they'll probably be stopped, because they're definitely silencing a really emerging market segment, let's call it. That's for hotshotting. Hotshotting's been building and has been rising on the rise for 10 years probably, you know, especially over these last 4 or 5 years. It's really just exploded. What the government's trying to do, and again, it has to do a lot with the current administration, and I believe it's because of the lobbyists for these big trucking companies. They're actually trying to pass, well, they have passed a law, it's coming. They've passed a law that restricts the type of vehicle that you can use in trucking, right? It's, they're not completely defining it as semi-truck only for certain types of loads, but it really does. The only vehicle that could really pass for it would be a 550. What's happening? Let me explain. So what's happening out there is this law proposes that a pickup truck with a bed on it, even though we have a 26,000 pound ruling that says if you're 26,000 pounds or less, that you can go non-CDL. 26,001, you're CDL. But this law doesn't have anything to do with the non-CDL driving. But in that law system, there's laws about the length of a truck, and it has to do with the bed being on the truck. And I did a really popular video about the length laws regarding truck beds. Some states, pretty much every state limits the length you can have with a truck bed on there, some shorter than others. Well, this new law proposes that if you're a commercial carrier and you're pulling a trailer, if you're pulling a trailer as a commercial carrier, then the truck can't have a bed on it, number one. But number two, it has to have a GVWR that's actually going to push the non-CDL drivers right out of it, because the GVWRs on these trailers, or on the trucks rather, have to be so high. And I think the restriction, I don't know the exact number, but it's like the GVWR is like 14,000 pounds or something like that, or maybe it's a little bit more on the truck. So what that would mean is, if you have a GVWR of 14, I think it's much higher than that. Let's say 18,000, just for argument's sake. And I'll get you the exact number. So it's like 18,000, 20,000 pounds. What it does is it pushes the F350s and 3500s out, your 4500s and 450s out. It would leave some of the 550s. I think for sure that the Ford pushes up around that number, because it uses, of course, the straight frame like semis have. But I'm not even positive about that. What it does do is it pretty much takes away everything. Possibly a 550 could fit, but more than likely the lowest truck you could get would be a single axle day cab. And if that's the case, a single axle day cab, then there's no more pickup trucks. There's no more hotshotting. You're going out there, you're CDL, because there's no single axle day cab that's going to fit under that rule. I mean, the GVWRs on it put you over that rule. Remember, it's not how much you really weigh, it's how much you can weigh that they penalize you for, which is ridiculous. So that's probably why we see all these hotshot car haulers. Now, the reason I say that I've seen more car haulers is I have seen more car hauler trailers, and non-CDL hotshotting tends to be more popular in car hauling. One, it's COD most of the time. Two, it's real easy to find loads and stay underneath where you need to be. And three, you get a lot of local stuff, right? You get a lot of, when I say local, I mean you're not far out of town. You may be going overnight and stuff to do that kind of thing. The reality is, though, that with the non-CDL hotshotting, you can't get over that 26,000 pound threshold, and that's what really counts.